Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ranking Member, and thanks to our witnesses for being here today. Before I get into my questions, I would be remiss if I didn't say that I am very glad that Kristi Noem, Corey Lewandowski, and Greg Bovino are no longer a part of the Department of Homeland Security. The way that they engaged in our communities has been an abomination, and it is my hope that the wreckage which they created, which is immeasurable, can be addressed and that we can go forward in a different way. So I had to get that off my chest. Mr. Scott, I've asked for a meeting with you, and I know this is a tough week, but I really would appreciate a one-on-one meeting with you, my team, your team. Can we make that happen in the next week or so?
Yes, ma'am, within this next week. I'll be out of town after this meeting until Tuesday, but I'll get with you. Yes.
And we're happy to work with you. Just would really appreciate the opportunity to sit down with you. Of
course.
Thank you. Acting Director Lyons, I want to thank you for the time that you gave me and my team yesterday. I think it was a productive and fruitful conversation. And much of what we talked about is Camp East, Montana. It is the largest immigration detention facility in the country. It is privately run. It's $1.24 billion. And I have been sounding the alarm about that facility and that contractor for some time now. I am glad that Acquisition Logistics will no longer be the contractor going forward. We are hoping to continue our oversight, our work on oversight as the new contractor situates itself. And to the chairman's point, thank you for committing to get us the contract with Acquisition Logistics. I'd like it if the chair, the ranking member, and I could have the contract, the new contract with Amentum, please.
Yes, ma'am, 100%.
Okay.
And we're committed to making sure that we get you that. That contract will be fully in place by April 17th.
Okay.
Fully funded, staffed. But just to the original statement of work, we inherited that from the Department of War. And unfortunately, under the FAR Act Part 2, they had listed proprietary information. So I just would refer any questions on the original contract back to the Department of War. Was the reason for the delay on the original.
If I might, if you want to redact it, we're not going to the Pentagon to get answers about ICE stuff.
We'll take care of that for you.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Chairman. Will there be I'm assuming there will not be a similar issue with the Amentum contract.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and we can get that in a timely manner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And we have started to receive the answers to our letters from last fall and earlier this year. So I appreciate that we're starting to get those answers. But as we continue our oversight responsibilities and have more questions, can we expect responses to our questions in a more timely manner than existed under Secretary Noem?
Yes, ma'am. It was, and I think yesterday as we talked, I think my team was actually sending over responses in real time. So we have increased our legislative affairs staff, and we are expediting, answering, and getting those all back in a more timely fashion. So you do have the commitment that you'll receive those answers.
Okay, I appreciate that. And as I mentioned, both on the phone, in my letters to members of this committee, to the chairman, to the ranking member, the issues at Camp East, Montana have been horrific. And frequently, staff on the ground is very dismissive when I raise those issues directly with them. And we have an obligation to treat people in a humane manner and to make sure that we are living up to federal standards. And the challenges with Camp East, Montana have been laid out by our own federal oversight agencies. So I am not the only one who has seen these issues and who has sounded the alarm. But we now have in my community another set of ICE facilities that are going up. The Department of Homeland Security has purchased 3 warehouses in the city of Socorro, Texas, a population of 36,000 people. Those 3 warehouses are going to house 8,500 human beings. Those structures are meant to hold goods. Those structures are meant to hold things, not people. And the city of Socorro their city council has passed a moratorium on any DHS facilities. They do not have the water infrastructure, the wastewater infrastructure, the emergency services infrastructure. They don't have enough for their own community. But now to have facilities, potentially have facilities for 8,600 human beings and staff, they are very alarmed. There were hundreds of members of their community who attended the city council meeting to oppose these new facilities. Local leaders are uniformly opposed to any new facilities. And Mr. Lyons, the County of El Paso has struggled to get any information from ICE. They've had to sue in order to try to get information. Is ICE or DHS still planning on proceeding with the 3 warehouses?
Well, ma'am, Secretary Mullen is, like I said in my statement before, he is looking at our whole detention plan. We're making decisions based on if we're going to move forward with those locations. But what I can tell you is, and hopefully when we do go on our trip down to Camp East, to take the opportunity to show you exactly what those facilities will be. I know I've said I don't like when people use the term warehouse, but once you see what the layout will be, it's not going to be any type of cages, any of that. It's actually to be retrofitted to become a detention facility, one that will actually be proud of, one that will actually have standards held in a humane way. So I welcome the chance when we go down there to show you exactly what we actually plan to do.
Mr. Lyons, I am going to urge you to reconsider. The community is uniformly opposed to this. As I mentioned, a city of 36,000 people does not have the infrastructure for a facility of the magnitude that DHS is wanting to build. And there has been 0 community consultation, 0 community involvement, community engagement. Before there's any forward movement, would you commit to meeting with local leaders to hear directly from them?
Yes, ma'am. And Secretary Mullen's committed to ensuring that we have not only interaction with yourself and other members of this committee, but local leadership on the ground, state, local, municipality level, to have that community engagement, to have those discussions.
I appreciate that. I'm eager to see that happen. One last question. There have been multiple deaths at Camp East, Montana. One of those deaths, Geraldo Lunas Campos, died in ICE custody on January 3rd of this year. The El Paso County Medical Examiner determined that was a homicide. I've read the details of the report. It's pretty horrific. What is the status of that investigation?
So, ma'am, once we had that information provided to us, we went ahead and referred that case. That case now is with the FBI. So I can't speak to an active investigation, but the FBI is investigating that.
Okay, so it's no longer at OPR.
It's with the FBI, ma'am. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
and I hope that you will evaluate the fact as you are thinking through these facilities and how they are privately run, that the staff on site lied initially about the accounts of that. And there really needs to be, I'd like to engage in a conversation with you about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, I know my time is up. Thank you. I appreciate it. I yield back.